Hey girl, hey, it's your girl Jay, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thanks so much for sliding through, and if you're returning, welcome back, girl. So you guys know I've been on brown really heavy. Like, I think that browns are so beautiful for the fall, and I think that it just adds that extra, you know, that we're looking for. So if you do want to see how I achieve this look, make sure that you do stay tuned. So of course, shout out to Ywigs. They did send me over a couple bundles of their color 4 body wave hair in the inches, 20 inches. Now I've worked with their color 4 and 30 before, and I've worked with the color 4 27, 30 before, but I've never just done solid brown, and I just love it. You guys know I love brown down, and it just complements my entire wardrobe this season. Make sure that you do check them out for all of your hair needs, whether it's wigs, bundles, bow hair, all of the above. They have got you covered, and of course like crochet too, because you guys know they eat down. You guys know I can go on and on, so let's go ahead and get into what you're gonna need for today's style. I did use a full 3 bundles in order to achieve today's style. I actually used 3 bundles in like a 1/10 of a bundle. This is what was left of the actual 4th bundle to achieve today's style. I did use very minimal braiding hair. So I think in the pack, it comes like a pack of like 3 sometimes. I only used 1 for my whole entire head. That's how you know I only use a little bit of braiding hair. Perfect if you don't want the hair to be super heavy and you want it to match like your natural density. Like, these braids are basically like the size of what my hair would be if I just used my own hair and just fed in human hair. I only use the braiding hair just so at the ends I would have something to tie it off. I say it all the time, I don't like to use nail glue or super glue in my hair, so I do prefer to use like just the tiniest bit of braiding hair, and then we'll get into that later. My braiding rack, my 3-way mirror. I did use the red one gel. I feel like that is so much easier to wash out. It doesn't get gucky, and it also gives you like a really tight hold. So yeah, that's pretty much all that we needed for today's style. If I forgot anything, of course it's going to be listed down in the description for us. And that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I did show my parting method and stuff like that, and I think that's going to be very helpful for today's style, because you got to pace yourself for real, or you're going to be at this all day long. So naturally, we went ahead and blew the hair out. My hair is growing back so good. If you don't remember, I accidentally cut like up here. I cut up here when taking down some braids not too long ago, so this part of my hair is like much shorter than the rest of my hair, so it's growing back amazingly. Thank God. So I'm gonna start with of course parting and everything, but I did want to get into like the look and the vibe that we're going for. So of course we want to go for anywhere between 99 to 100% human hair. I'm thinking about doing like just a little bit of the braiding hair, just so at the end of the braid I'll have something to like wrap it up, tie it off. You guys know I don't really like adding glue to the hair. That's just not my thing. So I'm trying to think, I might just add like a little bit of the braiding hair, just so when I make the knot it'll actually stay put. I want the braids to be kind of the same density of my natural hair. I don't want to add any excessive weight on it or anything like that. And then I do want these to be like extra small. Now I say that with caution, because in the top is going to be extra small, but the back is going to be small. So I'm thinking maybe 4 rows below the ear and maybe like 7 rows above the ear. But I'm gonna go ahead and pre-part, and then I'll be back and show you like how everything came to life. I went ahead and did this first side. We have 8 rows across the top. I know I said 7, but we went with 8 rows across the top. This should give us a really small look. And then we have 4 rows below the ear, and then of course our midsection. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side now, and then we will be back. Of course, who would I be if I didn't come on here and just show you a bit of how I do this? So since the plaits are so small, you want to make sure that you are gripping really tight. I know it can be kind of difficult, but that's why this red one gel is so like essential
So this is the size of the braiding hair that I'm going to be adding in. As you see, it is very, very tiny. It's thinner than my natural hair is. It's just really for the ends. And we're going to add it in increments of 3. And that's how we ended up not even having to use like a lot of the braiding hair, because we use such tiny pieces. And so of course, after I've gotten that braided in, I'm going to flip the braid over to a more comfortable position. I feel like this makes it much easier for me to move quickly and feed in hair. So I'm going to immediately feed in a piece of hair. Now, I'm not going to flip it up like I normally do. I'm going to braid that human hair in just like normal along the back side. And then once it does one full rotation back to like my thumb, I'm going to flip it up, and then I'm going to continue to braid down. Since this braid is going to be kind of on the thinner side because it's so small, you don't have to grip as tight during this part. That's going to leave the braid kind of stiff. So just braid it down, and then depending upon how full you want your hair to be, that's how often you're going to feed in more human hair. So I fed in human hair every inch to half an inch, and then I'm just going to repeat that step. So I kept on braiding it in, and then once it rotates back to my thumb, that's when I'm going to flip it up. So just continue that process all the way down. Now there will be some fraying, of course, because the human hair pieces have to be thick because you want them to really like stand out and cover the braid. So there is going to be a little bit of fraying, but of course at the end, if you care, you can go in and snip all of those frayed pieces and everything. And so at the end of the braid, I think I had anywhere between like 4 to 5 pieces on each braid, and in the top I think it might have been like 6 pieces. But just follow these steps for all of the braids, and if you find that you want the braid to be a little bit thicker, then of course just add more braiding hair, and it is going to help you have a more thick braid. Now people ask me all the time how I'm able to maintain my hair, my natural hair, and all those things. Is because I don't let the braiding hair add too much tension on my natural hair, if that makes sense. The thicker the braid, the more tension. And so when you do these type of styles with a lot of boho hair, I personally don't like a thicker braid. You guys know in all of my tutorials, I always say how my braids are kind of like boneless, and that's just, you know, pretending to like the actual thickness of the braid. And so now that we've gotten down to the bottom, I'm gonna feed in a piece of hair, but instead of like flipping it up after it rotates back to my thumb, I'm just gonna continue braiding it down all the way to like the end. So once we get down past my natural hair, which I have to make sure I do that, I'm gonna double knot it. I'm telling you, double knots are so much better than the hair glue in my opinion. I feel like it's so much quicker. And then I just went ahead and clipped off the excess piece of the braiding hair, and that is it.
So I'm in the final stretch, and this is what we have so far. We just have the last middle part to go. I'll say this is one of the best things about using like predominantly human hair. It's not heavy, like it's not heavy at all. I mean, granted, it is at this point 3 bundles of hair, so you're gonna have a little bit of weight there, but it will be so much heavier had I added like more of the braiding hair. But we are in the final stretch. How many braids do you think this is? I like the look that it gives, like basically like we have no braids. I want it to be more hair than braids, and I think we have completely like, we got that right. We got that right. All right. like that, we are back with our final look. I did my edges and everything, and I did switch it over to a side part. I am naturally like a middle part girl, but it's like so much hair on my face. I was like, yeah, especially with me wearing like a turtleneck, I feel like the side part just gives me a whole lot more to work with. Either which way, I hope that you loved today's style, and I hope it was very helpful for you in this fall season where you're trying to find hair inspo and you want to do it yourself and all the things. Make sure that you do check out Ywigs for all of your hair go-tos and things like that. Everything is going to be down in the description below. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.